So, if you've watched my previous video, yes, that mammoth 30-minute video, you would have seen what I believe is Microsoft's actual plan going forward, and 2025 is going to be a really big shake-up year. Now, for those of you that are wanting the old Xbox to come back, I genuinely do believe that those days are pretty much done. I think they've picked a path. I think when Jez Corden said you just need to get over it, I think he's pretty much on point at this point. I would definitely prefer the old traditionalist way of gaming, especially, when I say that, with the ecosystem that they've created, but that's no longer the path that Microsoft wants to follow. Do I believe that there's going to be exclusives? I do. I genuinely do. But is it going to be like every game? No. Is it going to be the majority? Probably no. I think the staples, the pillars, will probably stay, and then you might find a few where they just don't have the time to port over or the resources to port over. Those will stay, because at the end of the day, porting is costing a lot of money and it needs to be worth their investment. But, all of that has led to a position where in January we saw this Discord post that had a bunch of stuff listed on it. I've saved it for a long time and we're going to go through that again. But I think there's a bit more to talk about, especially with this upcoming January CES, which has Valve and Microsoft both attending. And with a lot of the rumors going around at the moment that they're getting prepared for something spicy, well, they just might be. So, let's have the drop. So, as you can see here, this is a post from Xtas1, and this is just a rumor, by the way, and this is translated by Google. We analyzed the rumor, and there's a rumor now that basically the actual collaboration between Steam and Microsoft might actually be happening. Don't forget, Gabe originally did say that he was open to collaboration and working with Microsoft, and that, things between them are actually in a good place. So he says, could Game Pass be coming to Steam in the last few hours? The networks have been alight with this possible move by Microsoft at a January event alongside Lenovo and Valve executives, and if we reviewed past statements, it makes quite a bit of sense. In 2022, Valve CEO Gabe Newell himself stated in an interview with PC Gamer that he would be open to collaborating with Microsoft to bring PC Game Pass to Steam. See, that's the thing. Gabe is open to this. So all this notion that Gabe would never allow it, it's not true. He's been fully on board with it because his relationship with Microsoft is good, and Gabe, at the end of the day, just wants to bring more games to more people. Obviously making money as well, but at the end of the day, more people that are on his platform and using Steam as a gateway to Game Pass mean that there's more chance of those people buying games on Steam as well. Because if you're already on the launcher, you might not want to go to another launcher, you're just going to boot it up from there. And that's the big winner here for Valve. Once you've stepped your toes into the Steam library, well, yes, you can play your games on Game Pass through the Steam library, but you can also play them. And as we saw recently with Indiana Jones, you can now, your saves are cross-save between Steam, Xbox, and PC. So that's pretty damn cool. So there might be more to this than people actually want to believe. And someone did a mock-up of how it would actually look, and this is actually really on point that it could actually happen. Now, of course, what does this all mean? Well, if something like this were to happen, well, this is what would come about of it. Now, remember, for a long time now, that I've been talking about reference PCs. Now, in my last stream, I also spoke of Paris about. Now, in my last stream, Paris and I were also discussing about reference PCs, essentially OEM Xbox consoles that will be designed with a blueprint that will play everything that is built for that. But then other manufacturers like Asus and Lenovo and whatnot can actually build upon it. Essentially, Steam wouldn't need to build a Steam PC. I mean, they probably will anyway, because why not? More choice is good. But Steam and Xbox would be on that machine at the same time. Now, a number of people are saying, well, that would just cannibalize the Xbox sales. Well, yes and no. The whole Play Anywhere is still a good selling feature. For me, that is a very big deciding factor on whether I buy the game on Steam or through the Xbox store. If it's a Play Anywhere, it gives me the option to play it on my Xbox console and my PC. And to me, that's worth a lot. But Tom did write about this 8 months ago, that the future of Xbox looks like PC. And I've been saying that this is pretty much where they're going for a while. And I think now they're finally starting to get there. Now, where you see this one over here, there's reports of a cross-platform user interface inspired by Battle.net. Essentially, it's going to be one menu that's going to be on Xbox, that's going to be on your PC, that's going to be on everywhere. So everywhere that you boot up a Xbox experience will have that cross menu, that cross-platform user interface that will look the same. So it will never be alien to you as a user. If you're used to it on your console, when you go to the PC and boot up the Xbox experience, you are going to see that exact thing. Nothing different. And that unifies the whole thing and brings it all together. This is something they've been working on for at least a year and a half, 2 years now. So it's been a while in the making, and people have actually tried using this already on Windows 11, from what I'm told. It's still got a ways to go in terms of performance, but it's there and it's working. So that is kind of cool, but that is where this is kind of going. Now, this over here is... Now, I wanted to go through this because this was posted on, January the 15th, and a lot of this has come to fruition. Xbox will announce their multi-platform plans late next month, or right before fiscal year. The 4 more games. Huh? I guess Xbox is going multi-platform and more third-party-ish. A few of the later stuff they originally planned as exclusives have been completely swapped for multi-platform releases, Outer Worlds 2, and also in talks with some manufacturers to make their version of Xbox consoles OEM, which is what I've been talking about for a while now. Yeah, the consoles, like how there's third-party controllers, there's pretty much going to be official third-party consoles, which is basically the reference base model of the Xbox, and they will run everything. ID Software's next game is no longer an Xbox exclusive and will be multi-platform. That's Indiana Jones, and that's come to fruition. Bethesda's next few games that were exclusive have also been pushed to multi-platform instead. So that is Doom, and I guess they're talking about Fallout 5, and potentially the Elder Scrolls 6, but that's got time to fruition. Flight Sim will be multi-platform. That did not happen. And a few other older first-party IPs are also going to be multi-platform. That has not happened. Indiana Jones is a little weird because it's modeled after Harrison Ford, but Troy Baker was going to be the voice actor. And then it just talks about Hideo Kojima is making a movie and stuff. But I think that there's a lot here that's actually come to fruition, and it's important. But ultimately, what this means, this CES could actually be a really big pivotal moment for Microsoft. If they can publicly come to an agreement with Steam and say Game Pass will be available on Steam as a shadow drop right now, all done, you can go to that launcher. It does beg the question of what they're going to do with the Xbox launcher, the Xbox PC app. I still think there's a place for it, and I don't think they need to get rid of it, because that's its own store, its own thing, and I think it's fine to have its own one. But I honestly think that's where they're going with this, and I believe that is what's going to happen. We've only got like 30 days max to find out exactly how this goes out. But in terms of the Xbox consoles being a traditionalist console and a reference console, I actually believe that the reference is the way they're going to go. As a consumer, Xbox consumer, you'll still be getting your hardware, and you'll be getting powerful hardware at that as well. So I don't think you have anything to worry about in that regard. But also, as an Xbox gamer, you're going to have access to a hell of a lot more. And ultimately, that is the key factor here. You'll even potentially get access to those PlayStation PC games as well, because at the end of the day, Steam is just Steam. And those are the games that you'll buy off Steam and play on your console. Because at the end of the day, the new Xbox console will just be a PC branded as a console with the Xbox brand. That's it. There's no real way for Sony to stop it unless they pull all their games off. And I know the fanboys would love that, but we all know that Sony isn't going to do that. They stopped them from playing it on GeForce Now, I'm fully aware, but there are ways to even get around that if you really, really wanted to, because I've done it myself. It's a pain in the ass, and honestly, it's not really worth it, but you can do it. But ultimately, it was the cloud aspect that they wanted to hold back, but they're perfectly okay with their games being on Steam and playable on Steam. And regardless of what brand is on that PC, whether it's Xbox or Nintendo, a PC is a PC. And if it's running an x64 operating system in the background with the the Xbox overlay at the front, at the end of the day, it's going to run those games. So the gaming landscape is changing, and it's changing for the better. But what do you think? Let me know in the comment section below, and let's have that discussion. And I'll see you in the next one. Remain legend.